As we move through the start of a new year, the spring season is fast approaching. You know what that means? The start of a brand new baseball season is nearly upon us for all levels of baseball. For all baseball fans, this is definitely the best time of year. But before we step foot on the field, all coaches should have a preseason parent meeting for their team. Today's Bullpen Bulletin is for coaches, and I'm giving you my top 10 things to cover in your preseason parent meeting, so you can make sure that everyone who's involved with your team is on the same page and they're ready for an unforgettable season. Hey team, Coach Hart here with Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education. This channel is all about youth baseball improvement for players and coaches. So if you'd like to learn more about baseball with tips and advice to improve your game, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm here every week with a new video to help you in your baseball journey. Now, let's run through my top 10 checklist for your preseason parent meeting. I've also included a PDF download of this checklist so you can print it out and take it with you to refer to. You can grab that down in the description. Number 1 is this meeting is for parents and coaches only. Even though this may seem a little obvious, I've been a part of meetings where players have been present with their parents. The first thing you want to establish before the meeting date is that this meeting is strictly for only parents and coaches. There's no reason for players to be there. This is an adult meeting. Specifically, some of the things that you'll be talking about applies to the team as a whole, as well as individual players. Things like expectations, roster strategy, and playing time will be discussed, and that's only for parents' ears. You'll be going over your expectations with your team in your first practice. Having no players present will make everyone much more comfortable to speak freely about what's on their mind. This also gives the parents the opportunity to choose what information that they want to relay to their child after the meeting. Number 2 is full transparency is vital for success. This is one thing that can make or break the season for your team and your reputation as a coach. The most important thing that you can do to earn the trust, respect, and really the love of your parent group is to have full transparency about everything, especially when it comes to their own child. If they ask how their child is doing, be honest. Tell them exactly what you think and don't leave anything out. If they ask what position they're going to play or how much playing time they'll get, tell them exactly what your thoughts are. This ensures that there will be no surprises or built-up resentment from the parents during the season. They'll appreciate your transparency and know that their child is in good hands with you as a coach. And lastly, if they don't like your response, this gives them the opportunity to go somewhere else where they might get more playing time. At the end of the day, we want every kid who loves baseball and wants to play to find a team and play the sport, whether it's for us or against us. Number 3 is you want to start with the introductions and overview. The meeting should open with coach's introductions. You can tell a little backstory of your baseball history and just have a nice chat with the parents about you and your staff as people. If you're a new coach to a team, this might take a bit longer, but if you've been coaching the same team for years, this will probably be just a, hey, I'm Coach Hart, these are my assistants, we want to welcome all new parents to the team, and we're ready for a great season. At this point, let the parents know to save their questions for the end when you open up for a Q&A. Tell the parents to write their questions down so they don't forget. This will allow you to flow through the meeting, saying what you want to say and not get off track. Number 4 is discuss your league. The first thing you want to discuss is the league that you're playing in. All leagues are different in so many ways. Some have different rules than others, some cost more than others, some have a very unique schedule that they use. Like for example, I played in one league that only had double headers on Sundays, and that was the only day of the week that they had games. So my parents had to prepare for that. Some only play at specific fields where traveling might be involved. Everything about the league should be discussed. If you're having the meeting before you know what league you're playing in, you can discuss the options you're considering and you can have a vote at the meeting. Number 5 is discuss your schedule, practice, and games. If you know your schedule, make sure you have a printout of the schedule and bring it to the meeting and hand it out to the parents so they can follow along with you as you go over it. Discuss the days of the week for the games. Discuss the fields that they're going to be played at. And if you're a veteran team who's been in the league for a while and you have a history with another team, you can even circle that game on the calendar and you can talk about that. Be sure to also discuss your practice schedule and have those on the printout of the schedule as well. After this point, the parents should know what the next few months of baseball will look like. Number 6 is discuss postseason. If your league has a system for playoffs, make sure that's included in the schedule discussion. If the league doesn't have any playoff system, you can talk about your plans for the postseason. Do you want to play in a big tournament where you have to travel and stay in a hotel? Do you want to play in a local tournament? It's also possible just to be done after the whole season because it was a long season and you just want to have an end of the year party. All teams are different, so make sure that you do what's right for your team. But all the plans for the postseason should also be discussed. Number 7 is discuss tournaments. How many tournaments do you have planned for the season? When are they? Where are they? Being the coach, what is your goal of the tournament? Do you just want to get your team exposed to better competition and you kind of want to have everybody play? Or do you want to go into it with the mindset of winning the whole thing? Tournaments can be used in multiple ways depending on the talent level of your team. All your tournament plans should be covered, especially if it's far enough where an overnight stay is needed. Number 8 is expectations of your players. After all the logistics of the season are covered, you can now move into expectations. It's critical to discuss all expectations for the season in this meeting. This will make sure that everyone knows what kind of coach you are, and as I said before, there will be no surprises when things happen. You should first discuss your expectations for your players in this meeting. The parents need to know what you expect of their child. This way, if anything happens where discipline is needed, the parent is going to have your back instead of being blindsided when their child is on the bench. Number 9 is expectations for parents. I'm sure you've been to games where a certain team has a less than perfect fan section. There are some parents out there who are even more competitive than their children, and they have no shame in showing it behind the fence when something goes wrong. You don't want to be that team who's known for having obnoxious and sometimes downright rude parents. Make sure you let your parents know what you expect of them during the games. Let them know that they represent the team just as much as you and your players, and they are not immune to your discipline if they're acting out and making a scene. Number 10 is open it up for a Q&A. At the end of the meeting, you open up the floor for questions and discussion. Hopefully the parents have written down their questions. When all the questions have been answered and it seems like everyone's excited for the season, you can remind everybody of the next time that you're meeting, either a practice or a workout, and then you can send them off. The meeting's done. I'd like to know how you conduct your preseason parent meetings. Do you do something similar to this checklist or something completely different? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to reply back with my thoughts. Don't forget to grab your free preseason parent meeting checklist down in the description below. It's exactly what we covered in this video, so be sure to take it with you so you can have a successful parent meeting. There's also a free baseball equipment sizing guide and a free 2-hour practice plan for coaches if you're interested in either of those other 2 free guides. They're all down in the description. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this video gave you everything you need so you can have the most successful preseason parent meeting and have a perfect start to your season. I'll see you next week for another installment of the Bullpen Bulletin.